Now on Coast TV News.
Missing siblings. Delaware State Police issue a gold alert for 4 Georgetown children. Details on their last known location. And a street safety debate. Why a pilot project on King Charles Avenue in Rehoboth Beach has neighbors divided.
A dangerous dip in the temps and an uptick in the winds, making for a dangerous combination.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Delaware State Police are searching for these 4 missing children tonight. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Christina DeRobertis. Delaware State Police say those 4 children are siblings and from Georgetown. Police say they may be with their father, which would be against a court order, and there is concern for their safety. The oldest, Mallory Brummel. She's 12 years old, about 4'9", and weighs around 90 pounds. She has blue eyes with blonde hair. Then Cody Brummel, roughly 3'5", weighing also about 90 pounds and has blue eyes and blonde hair. 6-year-old Evie Brummel is about 3 feet tall. She weighs 40 pounds and has green eyes and blonde hair. And 5-year-old Cash Brummel, about 3 feet tall, weighing about 30 pounds and also has blue eyes and blonde hair. Now, police say they don't know what clothing the children were last seen wearing. They say they could be in a black Ford F-150 with a Delaware license plate. They were last seen in Smyrna on December 5th, and Delaware State Police ask anyone with information to contact them. Now, if you missed any of that, we do have an article up right now on CoastTV.com. Moving on now, today, the city of Rehoboth Beach looked at parking and pedestrian improvements on King Charles Avenue. Commissioners approved adding crosswalks at every intersection on the road. Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber spoke with neighbors who have mixed feelings about the project.
Back in summer 2024, a safety project was tested on King Charles Avenue in Rehoboth Beach to keep pedestrians safe and improve traffic flow. During the pilot project, the Rossi Group, an engineering firm conducting the project, released a survey to gather public input about the street. Part of the pilot project included installing temporary bump outs at crosswalks, which Collins Roth, who lives off of King Charles Avenue, says are needed.
Yeah, with the diagonal parking, there's no visibility. So if you stop your car where you're supposed to, you can't see either direction down it. You've got to nose your car out into the middle of the road to see either way. And if you're a pedestrian, you've got to literally stand 10 feet in the road in order to peer around cars. In May 2024, the city tested out a refuge island here at the crosswalk of Stockley Street and King Charles Avenue. They said the goal of that island, which looked like this, was to give pedestrians more room as they cross the street. But other neighbors believe the project is not suitable for a street like King Charles Avenue.
I was obviously here as a part of the pilot that occurred 2 years ago, and I just feel like the pilings that they had up in these different configurations just aren't suitable for a cottage town like Rehoboth Beach. They're probably more suitable for a big urban city like Philadelphia, but not here.
Mixed opinions in the nation's summer capital. For Coast TV News, I'm Elisa Weber.
Now, Rehoboth Beach officials say the city's Streets and Safety Committee will take up this topic next month, and that's when they'll draft safety ideas and some parking proposals for city commissioners to review. Also in Rehoboth, you're looking now at the bandstand, and this is what it looks like in the summer during concerts there. The city now considering changing its concert series after some businesses say the concert crowds create a financial burden for them, making it hard for customers to get to those businesses. Rehoboth commissioners discussed concerns about overcrowding and parking issues, which store owners say they've seen firsthand.
People were parked in front of our store on Wilmington Avenue Friday evening. Those same cars were there Saturday morning.
City commissioners plan to get more data on bandstand concerts and their effect on businesses before making a decision. This does bring us to our Coast TV poll. We're asking what you think is the best way to improve Rehoboth summer concerts. Let's look at the results. 14% say change the days, 66% most people say better parking, and 20% think maybe a new location. Thanks for your input, and you can still give us your input. Go to coasttv.com or use our mobile app and you can vote. Now we're looking live outside into Lewis, and we're going to check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams on the weather.
Well, we have a combination of concerns. We have the temperatures that are dropping rapidly and the winds are being just basically unrelenting, or particularly for the beaches. We have a 31 mile per hour wind that's being recorded right now. The Indian River Inlet, a 25 mile per hour wind. Rehoboth Beach at a 24 mile per hour wind in Ocean City. Now the winds were so vibrant in Ocean City, they had to cancel actually a carriage ride there with some festivities that were going on. But here's what it feels like. It feels like 17 at the Indian River Inlet. It feels like 20 in Georgetown, 21 in Laurel and Seaford, 22 in Lewis, and 29 right now, 23, pardon me, in Ocean City. So tomorrow morning, this is what we're going to wake up to. Let me say that again, because I want you to get this. We're going to wake up to it feeling like 13 in Seaford, 14 in Georgetown, and 17 in Lewis. And it looks like we're going to have a couple of more days like this. We'll talk more about the Arctic air that I'm tracking. But right now, back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Paul. Well, 6 disability rights groups and a man are suing to block Delaware's new medical aid in dying bill. This group says it lacks proper safeguards. Disability rights groups filed that federal complaint looking to stop the law from taking effect on January 1st. The bill does allow eligible Delawareans to request and self-administer medication to end their lives. Now to Ocean City. Electric charging stations, they're really essential for people with electric cars, but according to the Ocean City Town Council, some chargers in their town are broken, and they say the company that's supposed to fix them is not responding. There's actually only 4 charging stations in all of Ocean City, but there is good news. Tomorrow, the OC Council will discuss a contract with a new company, a company that would replace all 16 existing chargers at all 4 locations, and the company will even foot the bill for installation, equipment, and maintenance. But until more chargers are in town, Tom Ford says he's going to stick to gas.
I don't think I'll ever be in the market for an electric vehicle, just for that reason, charging.
According to the town council, if everything goes to plan, new and improved charging stations could be up and running by May 2026. Leaders in Maryland agriculture are meeting to help shape the future of the industry. More than 500 farmers, agribusiness leaders, students, and policymakers were at the Maryland Farm Bureau's 110th convention in Cambridge today. The theme for this year's gathering is Rooted, celebrating the deep connection shared with the land, communities, and each other while looking ahead to the future of Maryland's agriculture. Maryland's Agriculture Secretary says one of the most important things for farmers to do is to preserve their land.
If you're dedicated to the land, and we know that farmers are stewards, farmers are caretakers of that land. Sometimes that land's been in the family for 20 years, 50 years, 100 years. Some 200 years, some beyond, but they're not the original caretakers of that land. If they are committed to that land, continuing to be in agriculture and open space, whatever it may be, preserve it.
The Farm Bureau also says it plans to work with state leaders on additional legislation related to solar. The convention wraps up tomorrow in Cambridge. Meanwhile, today, President Trump announced a $12 billion farm aid package aimed at helping crop farmers through one-time payments starting sometime early next year. And as Michael Yoshida reports, while the aid is certainly needed by America's farming community, the debate over what's causing that need is still being argued.
A $12 billion aid package to U.S. crop farmers available by February 28, 2026 is good news for struggling farmers. But some don't think it will solve the current crisis they face.
We're in trouble here, and my farm is no exception. During that whole government shutdown and during the issues with the tariffs and China not buying soybeans from the United States, we need the aid now.
Most of the money, $11 billion, will be directed toward crop farmers through one-time payments under the Farmer Bridge Assistance Program. The rest will go to farmers whose crops fall outside the umbrella of the assistance program. President Donald Trump and his administration have blamed Biden's administration policies for causing farmers to need assistance.
In the last year, Biden bankruptcies rose by 55%, having to do with farms. So farm bankruptcies under Joe Biden went up 55%. That's not good. But now we're once again in a position where a president is able to put farmers first, but unfortunately I'm the only president that does that.
Many U.S. farmers have been blaming Trump's tariffs for their struggle to make a profit, including soybean farmers who felt the squeeze during a months-long effective embargo by China, once the largest buyer of their crops. Trump says tariffs are actually the reason that aid is available to them, not the reason that it's needed.
This money would not be possible without tariffs. The tariffs are taking in, hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're giving some up to the farmers. Without it, we wouldn't be able to help you.
In Washington, Michael Yoshida.
We do have more news to tell you about tonight. Coming up ahead, an abandoned shopping cart dilemma in Pocomoke City and how police are cracking down on the issue. Plus, red light cameras are rolling out in Salisbury. We'll tell you at which intersections. But first, Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams with the weather. He's tracking your full forecast right now. We'll be back in just a minute.
You know, it's really cold when I feel the need to go back over what wind chill is and why it's going to feel so bad tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm just putting it straight out there like that so that nobody says that I sugarcoated this thing. Tomorrow is going to feel ugly. It's going to look pretty, but it's going to feel real ugly. All right now, it's starting to look a little feo right now anyway. That's Spanish for ugly, by the way. It's 29 for us right now in Lewis, and we are going to stay in the mid-20s for the rest of the night. This is not normal stuff. This is like 10 to 15 degrees below the norm for this time of the year, and that's our whole thing. We're in the grips of an Arctic blast that not only is cold, but it brings with it windy. I think the best way, when I was talking to Christina earlier this evening before the late night newscast, it feels like the wind or the cold out there has evil intent. That's just how uninviting it feels outside. It really feels some kind of way, to be quite honest. Almost you got to laugh because you're going to cry if you stay out there for too long. So here's the temperatures. We're at 29 in Georgetown, Laurel, and Delmar. But the winds right now are howling out of the north. And like right here in Ocean City, 25, 24 mile per hour winds, 26 mile per hour winds, gusts coming out of Rehoboth. So it feels like 17 in Indian River Inlet. It feels like 20 in Georgetown, Delmar, Salisbury, and in Laurel. The small craft advisory is active, so we're watching out for 25 mile per hour winds in the first place. But that's moving inland as well. We have that same concern on the other side with Bucktown, Smith Island, and Tangier. And by the way, we still have an active winter weather advisory for Chincoteague right now because they still have a couple of flurries that's still dancing on the horizon as we speak. But generally speaking, it's looking like it's clearing out, but the clear skies is going to set us up for the temperature to tank even quicker. Here's how it's going to feel tomorrow morning. 13 in Ellendale, Seaford, Delmar, Salisbury. It's going to feel like 14 in Georgetown. This is all at 5 o'clock in the morning, just before the sun comes up. It's going to feel like 17 to 19 for all the beaches. By the evening time, we'll warm all the way up to 21, he said sarcastically. And then on Wednesday, we're going to feel better, 26. But then Thursday, we're back to 21. And then on Friday, we're back to the teens once again. So all week long, just layer up. Now, why? Why is it going to feel so cold? Because our bodies lose heat through convection, okay? However, with little to no wind, a layer of that heat remains to keep us at least a little bit warm with no wind, so 20 feels like 20. But get this. This is why you're going to feel miserable tomorrow. Because 20 degrees tomorrow morning, right? When it's windy, it strips us of that layer of insulation. It speeds up the heat loss, making it feel that much colder, and you shiver like this stick figure's doing. You see that vibrating right there? That stick figure, that's how cold. It's going to feel like 4. Now, we won't drop all the way to 4, but 13 is close enough. Don't you agree? So anyway, for Wednesday, we're looking pretty clear in the morning time, but we'll get cloudy in the afternoon. That actually is going to help us out to feel a little warmer. But for the most part, the next 6 to 10 days, we're going to be either below normal or much below normal. Yeah, that's from the 14th all the way to the 18th. Here's a look at your extended forecast. And by the time we get that second blast of cold on Sunday, we may actually have some bona fide flurries and light snow showers by then, so bundle up.
All right, Paul, geez, I never want to hear you say evil and miserable in the forecast, but thank you. Okay, drivers, if you're heading to Salisbury anytime soon, beware because red light cameras have been installed at some of Salisbury's busiest intersections, and violators will soon have to pay a fine. The city says the goal is to cut down on red light running and reduce serious crashes. Now, some drivers we spoke with say anything that makes people slow down is worth it.
It makes people pay more attention to the lights, and it causes less accidents. I'd even save somebody's life. I just think it's a good idea.
So a fine of $75 will be mailed to anyone who runs the red lights starting January 5th. The city says more intersections could be added, but no additional locations have been finalized just yet in Salisbury. In Pocomoke City, police are cracking down on shopping carts, specifically the ones that are abandoned. Police say they're showing up all over town in people's yards, along the sidewalk, even near the road. Officers recently counted about 18 carts left off store property, along with dozens of street lights out, and they call it a quality of life crackdown. They say it's part of a broken windows approach, fixing small issues before they grow into bigger crimes.
If a community forgets the little things, it breeds larger crimes, because the people that commit the small crimes start thinking, well, if they're not doing anything about this, I can get away with this, I can get away with this, and it slowly grows into the issues that we're facing in our community now.
Officers say penalties can range from a warning to a fine, and for repeat offenders, even criminal charges. Mayor Todd Knox says he fully supports the crackdown, calling abandoned carts a source of blight and a safety concern in Pocomoke City. Coming up in health news tonight, why the winter can dry your skin out and what you can do to feel better.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Well, when it comes to holiday gratuities, deciding who to tip and how much to tip, it can be overwhelming. And in tonight's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan has tips on who to tip this holiday season.
It's the season of giving, but when it comes to tips, who should you give to and how much?
Tip who's really gone out of their way to make your life easier this year.
Ted Rossman works at personal finance company Bankrate. They recently conducted a survey about holiday tipping and found 56% of U.S. adults say they usually give bigger tips when they receive better service. But they also found fewer people plan to tip this holiday season.
A lot of people are cutting back, but some, especially high earners, are giving as much or more.
Bankrate came up with a list of the most common people to tip in the U.S., starting with housekeepers. Tips range anywhere from $20 to more than $50, depending on the service, their survey found. And it doesn't have to be cash. The U.S. Postal Service doesn't allow employees to accept cash, but if you want to show your mail carrier appreciation, they can accept a gift of less than $20 or something like baked goods. The more you interact with someone, Rossman says, the more you should tip, like a childcare provider or housekeeper.
Whatever you normally pay them for a weekly service, you might consider doubling that one at the end of the year.
When you're setting your holiday budget, Rossman says it's important to factor in tipping because it can add up fast. Make a list of who is most important and figure out how much you can afford to give. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
The Bless Our Children campaign continues. We're still collecting cards, still collecting donations. It's all to make sure every kid has a present under the tree come Christmas morning. Now, we've got a great card in here right now. Let's take a look. It's from Bob and Margaret Klim of Lewis, Delaware. We're going to get this in the tree, guys. Thank you for sending it in. Businesses can help by accepting the Shell Brothers Challenge of donating at least $1,000. And if you want to help send a donation in a holiday card, we might just read it on the air. Send a check or a money order to the address on your screen or donate online at blessourchildren.org.
We have already raised $226,000 to help children and families this holiday season. Again, thank you, a big thank you to everyone who has donated so far. And now that the holiday season is here, so is the return of Holiday House. We're going to check out some nice decorations tonight. This is from Valerie Phillips in Hurlock, a cute little Christmas tree with a little elf on it and a ladder. Love that. Thank you, Valerie, for sharing. And we want to see what you're doing, how you're decorating as well. So send your photos and videos to Coast TV. Just go to our website /holidayhouse and we might show them here on TV. Coming up in sports, we take a look at the Dover boys and girls basketball teams, find out what they're expecting in 2025.
And here's a look at your Bay forecast. We're looking for chilly conditions there as well, with winds really picking up in Crisfield on Wednesday, so continue to bundle up.
President Trump plans to sign an executive order blocking state AI regulations. He posted Monday on social media saying, quote, "There must be only one rule book if we're going to continue to lead in AI." And it comes as some states have passed laws to address potentially risky and harmful uses of AI. Recent reports have highlighted risks of the technology causing delusions or contributing to self-harm among users or exposing children to sexualized adult material. Critics worry the deregulation push could allow AI companies to evade accountability should their tools harm consumers. Well, it is the largest organ in the body, but this time of year and the dipping temperatures can really wreak havoc on your skin. In tonight's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither talks to a dermatologist about how to protect your skin this winter.
It's the season of dry skin, and if you're feeling the itch, you're not alone.
The cold temperatures outside, the high heat and the low humidity, all of those factors play a role into making our skin more dry and more sensitive.
Dr. Susan Masick with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center says there are ways to protect your skin and provide some relief. She says it starts with hydration.
You want to moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. You can never moisturize enough.
Masick says most products out there are effective. Emollients and ointments like petroleum jelly can help seal moisture into the skin. Creams that have more oil than water can replenish skin to keep it healthy.
Lotions tend to have more water, and so they are able to glide on the skin more easily than creams, but creams and ointments are more moisturizing.
And when outdoors, she says to cover up to make sure your skin isn't exposed to the elements. Inside, consider using a humidifier and avoid taking long, hot showers. Keep it lukewarm and shorter. She says to also pay attention to what you're washing with.
And make sure we're using mild soaps, gentle cleansers, avoid the really harsh astringents, toners, perfumes, scented types of cleansers that can actually help irritate the skin.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Masick says that it's a good idea to adjust to your skincare regimen this time of year, adding additional moisturizer, but continuing to use sunscreen every day, even in the winter. Moving to sports now, the Delaware basketball season is getting underway, and one of the premier teams to watch this year is the Dover boys team, but also the Dover girls team. DSN's Darren Wallace has a preview of both programs.
For both Dover boys and girls basketball, there's a standard to uphold. Boys coach Stephen Wilson and new girls head coach Trinita Shields believe in empowering players as a way to get the most out of them.
I know over the years, we have new coach coming in, sometimes they say, oh, there's a little bit of a drop. So I want to make sure that I instill the confidence in them so they know that they are worthy of everything that they get, and they have to work hard for it.
Around here, seeing the consistency, I think that the kids knowing that I believe in them and they believe in me, because it doesn't matter how many plays I have or how many X's and O's or where I coached at before. It has to go on, showing these kids that you believe in them.
For the girls, replacing two 1,000-point scorers is hard enough, but Coach Shields is also implementing a new culture and identity for the team. But coming from Lake Forest, she says she's no stranger to trying to turn a program in a new direction.
What I'm trying to do is to have these girls to stay with that type of caliber team. Right. They're all young. We're not going to say they're all young, but they're all new to this experience. So new year, new coach, new system. So I'm trying to get them to buy into what I have.
As for Coach Wilson and his team, the goal was to take back what they believe is theirs.
Our motto is get our trophy back. That's what we try to do this season. We try to get our trophy back.
I keep thinking about that moment every time. Even in summer, I didn't play that good. I went 3 for 13 that game too. So it's like, I think about them 2 games every time. Even my sophomore year, I went 0 for 5 in the state championship. So I got to prove something this year, and I will, because it's really personal. Every time I go on the court, like I said, it's personal. I'm hungry for it every time.
But regardless of results on the court, Coach Wilson and Shields believe wins come in a variety of ways.
There's many different ways that we can win this game other than winning a state championship. But yes, we want to win that, but that's not the end-all be-all for us.
Both teams are just one game into this new season, but believe all their goals are still right in front of them.
This year, I'm really hoping to do a lot more, hoping to win more games, but not just to win more games, just to feel like a winner even when you lose. Like, knowing that I worked hard, even though we lose, we can still have that good feeling when we get there and we know that we accomplished something.
We just don't preach basketball here. We preach, life. We teach being good fathers, good husbands, good brothers, good sisters, good kids, good parents one day. And that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to take.
Reporting from Dover, I'm Darren Wallace for DSN.
Going to be cold, even colder tomorrow morning. Bundle up, it's going to feel like 13 degrees. 32 right now in Ocean City. And we have the small craft advisors active because of the blustery conditions along the beaches. Looking out for 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And the wind chill will, like we say, to drop into the teens. We have a few leftover light snowflakes, and they're dissipating as we speak. Constance Hulliger of Denton. Congratulations, you're our umbrella winner, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstedt, Mandalis, and Spederico. And here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Notice I got 2 colds on there, one little one and one big one later.
Thank you, Paul. And finally tonight, the Freeman Arts Pavilion in Selbyville, giving us a first look at its big makeover plans. That's including a new permanent stage, upgraded sound and lighting, also a redesigned terrace lawn with more seating options. The new permanent stage and the other upgrades are expected to be complete by July 2026. Have you ever been?
No, but I want to go now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it looks like a Coachella type of thing or something like that. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Coachella.
I'm so hip now.
Love it. Thanks. And thanks for joining us for the news at 11. You can always find more news, more weather. Just download our CoastTV News app. And The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We're back tomorrow at 5 a.m.
Have a great night.